Hello again, DIY friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about what's probably the most common reason why your home air conditioner will fail and you'll have to call somebody to come and fix it. What I'm going to try and hope to show you today is a way that you can be prepared for that and possibly even fix it yourself. So before I get into that specifically, let me give you some backstory on our friend, the condensing unit that's out here on the side of your house making a whole bunch of noise, hopefully blowing hot air out the top if it's working correctly. When this unit starts, when your air conditioner inside from the thermostat calls for cooling and tells this behemoth to turn on, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to get this thing started. There's a compressor in there that's circulating the refrigerant through the system, and also there's a huge fan on top. Those things combined at the same time saying, let's go, takes a tremendous amount of energy. Well, to help this system get started, what is built inside of it is a part, and a simple one at that, called a capacitor. And all this thing is a battery that lets go of its entire charge all at once. And this part resides inside the condensing unit, fully charged, waiting for that call from your thermostat to bring you cool air inside your house. 9 times out of 10, or maybe not that many, but in my observation, it's the #1 issue. HVAC companies will come to your house to fix your air conditioner because this part will fail. This is a very inexpensive part, and it's very easy to replace yourself. With some caution, be careful, there is high voltage in here. I'll show you how to do that. But this is something that you could and should, in advance of a problem happening, get in here, see what your part is inside of your air conditioner, order it in advance and have it on hand. And the reason I say that is this happened to me specifically. My air conditioner went out in the middle of a heat wave. It took us 3 days to be able to get a technician out to fix it. Every guy in town was booked. I would have been happy to pay the money to get somebody to do it. I eventually did. But had I known what I'm going to show you today and had this part on hand, I could have fixed it myself inside of about 10 minutes and had the air conditioner back on instead of sweltering with my family for 3 days inside the house. So stay tuned and I'll give you some tips on how to get in here and get this thing and replace it. Hang on. So the first thing you'll need to do is locate where the power comes into your condensing unit. Everyone has a point outside. Should be what they call a disconnect. It's basically a small circuit box that has a circuit breaker in here that allows you to disconnect this thing from power. That's why they call it a disconnect. It might be a little type of operation like this where you just pull it out to physically unplug it, or there might be a typical breaker like you would see in most house fuse panels that will work it. But that's how you identify where the power is coming in and going into the unit, which is here. So now I know that the part I'm going to need to get to service is going to be in this vicinity here. So I probably have to take this panel off and maybe something over here to get to what we need to service the unit. So let's do that. And of course, to be absolutely safe before we ever touch anything, turn the power off, stay safe. So here we go. This just pulls out, and now there's no power going to the unit, but we will verify that once we get inside. I'll just set this up here while we're working, and let's get to it. And voila, there it is right there. Let's take a closer look. So now that I've got the inspection panel off, you can easily see, here's our capacitor right here. So that's the item you're going to need to replace if the unit won't start up. It makes buzzing sounds or just plain is not coming on the job. That's a very high suspect that that could be your problem. It's very easy to replace. Typically there's a strap on here with just one screw. So what you'll need to do to prepare for this is power down your unit. This is hopefully before it breaks down, and power it down, get your inspection panel off like we've done, and go look and see what size capacitor you have on your unit. As you can see on this one, it is 45 plus 5, and then your voltage is 370. So you'll need to find that one. They're easily findable. They're on Amazon. They're 10, 15 bucks. They're very, very inexpensive, and basically find that and order it and have it on hand so you'll be ready in the event that your air conditioner fails. So you might ask, how do I know if this is the part that's bad? Well, what will often happen is the fan will turn on and you'll feel air blowing out the top, but the air won't be warm, and that'll give you an indication that the compressor inside is not running. There's a large compressor inside here that is circulating that freon through your system, and if the compressor doesn't start, then you won't get any cold air. So armed with the knowledge you have here, you can get the size of the capacitor you need. We've gone on to Amazon, pick one up, and we have a fresh one here at our disposal. I'm not going to install this one today because we happen to have put this one in when it was needed a couple of years ago, but we want to make sure we have a replacement for it because they do fail. And now there is an instance, some outdoor condensing units will have two capacitors. This one is called a start and a run. It's what the two numbers are for, 45 and 5. The 45 is the larger portion of the energy that will get the compressor to start, and the 5 represents the number that it takes to get the fan started. Some outdoor condensing units will have two of these, a bigger one and a smaller one. If that's the case, look for the number on it, the same thing, find out what size it is, measured in microfarads. It'll be something like 45 or 35 or 55, maybe 70 if you have a 5-ton unit. You'll need that for the compressor, and then you'll need the smaller one, whatever size it happens to be, for the fan. I think most typically what you're going to see is like we have here. They call it a dual run. It's got both of them built into one unit, and it's just a simple plug and play deal. I might add that when you change these out, it's very standard the way that they're all stamped on the top. It'll say Herm and Fan and Common. They're all stamped, they're all the same. All you simply have to do is very carefully, without touching these, by the way, this holds energy and you should expect that you could get shocked. Before you touch anything here, disconnect the wires carefully and you can run a screwdriver, don't touch the metal, across them, and make sure it's discharged. But all you have to do is undo a bolt, take this off, and then very carefully read the names of the terminals on the old one, look for them here on the new one, swap them over, and put this back on, and you're back in business. It's as simple as that. So that's it for today. Just a quick tech tip. Wanted to make sure that you knew how to do that because summer is coming and these units are going to start failing all over the place. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, do it yourself.